Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to LSR TV. We're live here at Kansas Speedway. Of course, I am your host, Charles, in the booth here tonight. Unfortunately, running solo, as most of our producer or commentators here having other prior arrangements. We got 21 drivers here for tonight's race, 167 laps. We'll have a caution at lap 84 for the stage caution, assuming we don't have any cautions prior to that. We'll just have to keep an eye on all of that and find out if that is the case. If we have one roughly close to that, we'll go ahead and count that as a stage caution. If not, we will have it right at the completion of lap 84. That being said, we have your countdown to qualifying up on the screen. 3.5 minutes left to go. And we'll give you some quick information on the screen so you can see how practice is going here so far. Reinhardt's as at the top of the charts with that number 11 machine running the number 3 on it, though. For that custom number with a 31.783 fast time here in practice. Right below him going to be Trenton Jump with a 31.802, a difference of only .019. Look to see a good battle between them. Cody Slaudecker coming in and that number 45 machine with a 31.816. A good time for him so far here. Your top 5, of course, are going to be Shane Therian with a 31.866 and Austin Gretorix with a 31.875. A little bit of time separating them, .009. Not a lot of gaps here in the timing as we have a lot of fast drivers. This race could go to anyone. Reinhardt's, of course, the winningest driver as of right now. We didn't mention a whole lot about it, but we do have your former points leader no longer in the league due to issues. We'll leave it at that. So he is not here. That would make Reinhardt's, I believe, the winningest driver and obviously the driver with the most poles and runner-ups here on the season. We do not have a whole lot of time left in the season. I believe tonight in one more race, maybe one after that. I believe it's just 2 though, and then we will be jumping into the playoffs. Points will be reset and things will change once we get into the playoffs. We'll be going over all of the point standings once we get into the playoffs to let you know who is where, who's going to be the movers and shakers. Go in there. Shane Therian taking a little bit of faster time, but not going to happen, but we'll see. Again, movers and shakers are going to be coming in here. You have to complete, I believe, 15 races to make it into the chase. A lot of drivers have completed that. Some have not, that have had really good runs, but just haven't completed the minimum requirements to make it into that chase. So we'll see who makes it, who doesn't make it, and all of that good, juicy information will be coming your way in the near future. Again, running solo here tonight in the booth. I am your host, Charles Hooten, as always, on the mic. 59 seconds left to go before we move on to qualifying. So we're going to step away, get some last-minute stuff taken care of real quick, and we come back. It will be time for qualifying here at Kansas Speedway. That is the virtual Kansas Speedway. And we will go qualifying, followed by a 167-lap feature event coming up here in just a moment. All right, qualifying is about to be underway. Practice is over. Of course, that means but one thing, and actually we'll make it 2 things, as we are going to rearrange some things here real quick. And it looks like we are going to have our second chair. Rudy, welcome to the booth.
Well, hello. Yeah, I just got back. So sorry, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not.
Well, you're just in time. I'm sure you're getting loaded in as qualifying has just begun. We haven't even completed a lap yet as we're pulling up the sidebar for the fans out there watching. We're just talking about going to be some good racing here as Steve Durham, a newer driver in this league, out on a track here at the moment, and a decent-sized field here tonight. I believe there's 21 drivers. I'm going to keep my money on that driver, the number 3, Ryan Hart. He's been fast all season long. Again, we'll let Rudy get loaded into the sim. Again,
I'm working on it.
if you don't know who Rudy is, a guest over there from Max Speed TV. We love having him here with us whenever we can, but 2 full-time schedules between the two of us, it makes it hard, but we have those rare occasions like tonight where we actually get to be in the booth together. And it looks like he's going to pull it to the side. Christian Gomez with a 32.197. As that time's not going to stand. Cody Slottick are going to run a 32.162. He will top that just a little bit, and that's Safe Light Auto Glass, a number 45 machine. And he's not going to stick either. Trenton Jump, 32.133. Already times starting to shuffle down. What was fast isn't fast anymore. And, note to the fans out there watching, and of course to Rudy here who just got here, the practice track had 0 wear on it. We're looking at 50% rubber laid down on this track for qualifying and the race, as it will reset for the race. So that's a significant difference in rubber laid on this track from 0 to 50%.
I'm almost there.
Oh, you're good. Dag Taugen with just qualifying. See, we got Calvin Gretorix out on the track in the number 98 machine. 8th fastest so far as Cody Slottick are still at the top with that 37.975 that he just ran. Ryan Hart's 3rd fastest in that number 3 machine, 32.034. We'll see if that time can be just a little bit faster to take it to the top of the chart. Shane Therian also out on track. We'll see if that Nexus Esports number 3 can get the job done. He's currently, again, 3rd fastest at the moment as he comes to the line here, Kansas. And it's going to be a 31.895. That will, of course, take him to the top of the charts here in qualifying as Shane Therian going to be rolling that Evil Controllers number 38 out onto the track. And Evil Controllers behind the sponsorship, and of course behind the wheel is a wicked fast, evil fast driver as well. He is good, and we'll probably see it here in qualifying as well. It'll be interesting to see how he does do. And we also, looks like we're going to have Austin Gretorix out on the track, and Matt Dyer getting strapped into his machine to get out onto the track. Again, so many fast drivers in this league. We want to take a quick moment while we are watching to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, whether you're on the main channel over here on YouTube or if you're tuning in over on the Facebook side of things. Of course, for the ultra high definition, YouTube is the home for that over on LSR TV. So we'll just keep an eye on that. We will keep an eye on chat from here and there and type in chat with you. As we'll see Shane Therian coming to complete lap number 1. It's going to be a 32.066. Not quite good enough for a top 3, hanging on to 4th, but he's got 1 more lap to go. Yeah, we got Matt Dyer still hasn't come out. Austin Gretorix still hanging in there, but he'll jump to 7th position in a 32.195, and that's actually going to do it. Qualifying is over. So we'll get ready for your starting grid for tonight's race. I expect to see a good one here. We'll quickly run through that grid as everyone is jumping to the grid for you. On row one is going to be the 11 of Ryan Hart. And on his outside, going to be Cody Slaudecker. Should be a good battle between those two up front. Row 2 is going to be the 48 of Christian Gomez and the 38 of Shane Athurian. Row 3 going to be the 34 of Robert Kinney and the 46 of Trenton Jump. Row 4 is going to be the 15 of Austin Rhetorics and the 07 of Stephen Hamill. Row 5 is going to be the 32 of Justin Till and the 63 of Alex Walter. Row 6 is going to be the 12 of Dylan Browning and the 23 of Tanner Johnson. Row 7 is going to be the 29 of Logan Brakey and the 98 of Calvin Gretorix. Row 8 is going to be the 53 of Eric Stamp and the 33, a newcomer who we're familiar with quite good, is going to be that 33 machine of Josh Coley. Row 8 is going to be the 51 of Jared Matthew and the 61 of Bronson Stafford. Row 10 is going to be the 10 of Steve Durham and the 84 of Matt Dyer. Both of them not taking times here in qualifying. In row 11 is going to be the 4 of Drew Ashley and the 5 of Tyler Blythe. And nobody beyond that point, 11 rows, 22 drivers making the call for tonight's race. Rudy, it's new for you. Got a couple of new drivers here for me. I'm looking for some good racing here tonight.
Well, Kansas is one of these tracks that, some drivers hate to see this track come up on the schedule because this kind of has a lot of a one race groove in it. But the thing that you got to think about is on new tires is the time to make your move. If you're not going to make a move, on those new tires and you wait, the tires after about 5 or 6 laps already start losing a little bit of their grip. And it's difficult to make that pass on the low side. The high side is the groove that you want to be. This is one of them progressive tracks where the higher you go, the more banking is in that. So that's what makes it a high groove track. So I guess we're getting ready to go green here. Get them going.
We are ready to take the green flag for the first time here tonight. We'll bring your main bar up onto the screen here for the Adrenaline iRacing League live on LSR TV. And they're going to take a slow start. Green flag is out. 167 laps. And it looks like they get a little stacked up there, but we keep it going as they're going to kind of sort it out here. A good field of trucks as it looks like the 3 of Hearts is going to go ahead and take that lead. And they get single filed in those front 3 to 5 cars pretty quick.
Oh, we got a caution.
Caution coming out, and it's going to be Calvin Gretorix, who is already on pit road as we step back and take a look here at the replay. That is a very quick caution here as we go back to the replay. They're still pacing before the caution flag, so this will be interesting to see what happened. I mentioned they did stack up, so I'm wondering if this had something to do with it.
Oh, he got rear-ended by Bronson Stafford there going into turn 1.
Bronson wanting to get to the front right there as that shot, and Bronson getting a big lick as well, and looks like Matt Dyer getting a little bit of a piece of it, but a shot in the shorts and around it goes, and then comes right back in front of the 61 Bronson Stafford. So a quick caution here. We've seen a few of these here lately in a couple of leagues. We get those cautions early in the race, and then they kind of sort themselves out. So maybe people are a little antsy here to get racing. Oh, of course, we haven't done this in quite some time here. I know last time I did it was probably the time when you were in the booth here. We're still early in this race. We know who's up front now, but that doesn't mean anything. And a lot of these guys are new to you. Some of them are new to me. You got to pick for tonight's race win.
Well, I don't know a lot of these guys, like you said. Now, I do know Ryan Hartz. Ryan Hartz is a very, very good racer. I've actually He's been in some races that I have covered. And another one that I have watched before that I know. Where the heck is he? Shane Therian. I've seen him in races too. So there is some really good drivers out here. I can see a lot of these names, and looking at some of their I ratings, they've got some pretty high I ratings in here.
Yeah, anywhere from 2 to 6,000, over 6,000 for someone like
Yeah.
Ryan Hartz. If I'm gonna have to pick somebody, I know he was involved in that caution um, just now, but I would have put my money on Bronson Stafford. If he can get some laps back, once he can get to the front, I think he'll do pretty good. He just needs to get there, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for anybody to get by Ryan Hartz. Slaughter, Gomez up there, Christian Gomez. We haven't seen him race. Neither one of us have, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays out. Obviously, Shane Therian going to be good. Robert Kinney going to be good. Trenton Jump. Again, there's some heavy hitters just in this front five right now. So the rest of this field, obviously, some good drivers too. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. The lights are going to go off, so we will go back to racing this time. Now that we've had a little bit of heat cycle on these tires, they're going to have to be careful not to spin them as they've had heat then cool down.
Well, with no resets, I don't know. It may be kind of tough for Bronson to get back up to the front, Charles, because uh, with that damage on that truck, he kind of, with him getting into the back of Calvin like that, he actually put himself into the wall too. So he's got a lot of nose damage. I was looking at the truck, and a lot of side damage and a little bit in the back. So I don't know if that truck's going to be fast anymore, but you guys, these guys more than I do. If he can get that truck back out there, I'm looking at it again here just to be on the safe side. Yeah, there is mostly nose damage. Both right and left front fenders are pretty smashed up, and the grill. So if he does get back out there, he'll have to be watched for overheating.
Yeah, and I thought he would be out a little bit quicker than that, so he is not. He's still in pit road, so my pick already possibly out of this race. I thought maybe he might get out of the pits in time, but he is going to go a second lap down and possibly third or fourth as the green flag comes back out. We'll bring the sidebar onto the screen as Hart's got a good jump over Slaughter. Slaughter trying to do what he can in that Pro Stars Racing a number 45 machine. But look at it, you got first and then a little gap, and you have second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth kind of bunched there together as Shane Therian really trying to run down that 45 machine right now.
And going back to that wreck, I kind of wanted to mention too about that, Charles, that each driver takes a little bit of a different take on getting the tires warmed up. You don't want to go out there and really drive the heck out of it for a couple of laps till you get a little bit of heat in the tires. And Calvin might have been checking up a little bit going into turn one, and when he did, that was when Bronson got into the back of him. Like I said, each driver's different in how they take these corners.
Yeah, and another thing too, we talked about the tires. We have to account fuel into this now as well. We knew they were getting 30 to 35 laps of fuel. However, we just had about 3 to 4 laps of caution, which is going to save them a little bit of fuel. Nobody came down pit road in the front. So I would be expecting, if they come down at 30, I would push that to maybe 33. If they were coming down at 35, maybe 37. That's going to save them a little bit of fuel, and that's going to change some strategies here as well as we're watching these front three race it out.
Well, Justin Teal just took over 10th spot here, so he is moving forward. He did make that pass on the bottom and passed up Dylan Browning. So there is a little bit of passing going on. Back behind them is the number 23. He may be getting passed here by Stephen Durham. Durham took a look to the inside, but couldn't make it work.
Yeah, Steve Durham, a new driver in here. I say newer. He has been racing a couple of races, and he's given Tanner Johnson a run for his money. Another new driver deep in this field right now is at 33, and that's an iconic 33. He's always run it. That is Josh Coley. who used to run over in the Northwest League, and now he's over here running in the Adrenaline on Sundays. And he's doing a good job right now. He's in 16th place, but he's on the lead lap, and he's trying to make moves on that 4 machine of Drew Ashley, another rookie here in tonight's race.
Yeah, Josh is another one that I've known. Yeah, I've known him from. Actually, he was in another league that I used to do, and I can't remember what league that was. But yeah, he was in Northwest. So yeah, Josh Colley's another good racer. I guess I kind of missed him on the roster there.
Yeah, well, I expect to see him moving through this field a little bit as we're going to go up a few spots here. You look into the 8th position, Austin Gretorix, Alex Walter, Stefan Hamill. These guys right here, that 15 of Austin Gretorix, he's trying to make the pass on the 07 of Stefan Hamill, and he's going to take it way below the white line, which is perfectly legal. It's a white line, not a yellow line. He can do it. And he's trying his hardest, but it's not quite working out for him. Here comes that 63-2 of Alex Walter.
Well, now that the leaders have pulled away from the rest of the field, they are in a good battle here between Ryan Hartz and second and third right there. So those guys are battling pretty hard right here for the lead.
Yeah, they are. Again, it's one of those deals you can throw a blanket over these top 3. You got a battle going on there, a battle. Again, for about 7th position, but Cody Slaughter, like you were saying, all over that back bumper of that number 3 Nexus machine, trying to get by him. So we'll see. Right now, it's kind of the battle of Toyota versus Chevrolet up at the front. You got one Chevrolet leading it, followed by a whole host of Toyotas behind him. Take a look here back to there. It looks like we were talking about that battle a second ago for 7th place. Alex Walter managed to get by the 15 of Austin Gretorix and Justin Teal, so he manages to sneak by on the high side and take 2 positions away while the 15 was trying to take that 1 position. So a good job for him. He is picking them off 1 and 2 at a time.
Yeah, like I said, most of the guys looks like have been moving up to the high side. Now you just seen the 32 there, Justin Teal, leave a little bit of a gap between him and the wall there, and Dylan Browning almost took advantage of that. Here he goes to the bottom again, but he is going to make the pass on Austin Gretorix.
Yeah, and he's
it's not going to stick, and he's going to stack them up. And there goes Gretorix.
And the 15 going around, and caution will come out. Obviously, we don't need to go watch the replay. We watched it live. The 32 of Teal slides up, doesn't quite complete the pass, hits the wall, collects the 15, and around goes the 15 of Austin Gretorix. Again, just unfortunate for the 15. He was just, riding on, minding his own business. The pass wasn't quite clean, per se, and that is unfortunately what happened, and that'll put us under caution number 2 here tonight. Of course, for your Interstate Synthetics caution, 2 cautions, 3 laps. We have had 0 lead changes, though, here tonight. So the question really here, I think we both have to ask, Rudy, is does anybody have anything for that 3 of Ryan Hartz here tonight?
Cody is looking pretty strong. He may have something, but I do believe they are going to come to pit road here and get some fresh tires. They've been out there for 15 laps, even though we have had a couple of cautions. They probably got about maybe 9 or 10 green flag laps on those tires. So the newness is wore off, so they are coming to pit road. And now it's going to be the race off of pit road to see who's going to come out. It's kind of one of them deals where if you can get off of pit road first and stay out front, which Ryan Hartz, that's going to be his top priority right now, is to try to stay in that lead because it is so hard to pass.
Yeah, it is really hard to pass, and we're watching everybody on pit road. There's not a single driver that stayed out. And it looks like Shane Therian is possibly going to do it first. We'll see, and I stand corrected. Tanner Johnson did not come down in the number 23 machine, but Shane Therian beats him all off pit road with a 9.1 second stop. That is 2 tires. So obviously a little bit of a gamble here early in the race to only take 2 tires. But I've said it repeatedly before, if you're going to make a gamble on 2 tires, why not take it early in the race? Find out what it'll do. It's good for you because if it's a costly mistake, it's early. However, if it does good for you, everybody else around you is going to know what you did and they're going to try it later too.
Oh, you can bet on that. Yeah, all eyes are on Shane right now to see how that's going to work. And Shane's going to lead his first lap of the race here as Tanner Johnson does take it to pit road. He stayed out just long enough to lead a lap, and I believe he led a lap.
It's going to be a close one there, depending on where his pit stall was. So we've seen that happen many times. I know you've seen it. Someone stays out to lead a lap,
Yeah.
and they have to tuck in, and their pit stall is before the line, and or they're going slower than the pace out on the track, and they end up not leading the lap. So it will definitely depend on where he was. But Shane Therian out front, ahead of Ryan Hartz and Cody Slaudecker. I want to point out here that it was a 9.5 2-tire stop. Josh Coley sitting in the 4th position.
Yeah, he's moved up a lot. That was another 2-tire change. But, I don't know. That might come back to bite these guys. But, like you said earlier, this is the time to try it right now. Early in the race, like you're saying, find out if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, noted, and you move on from there and never do that again.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's like a double-edged sword. You're the guinea pig for yourself. You get to find out, hey, this worked out really good. Well, everyone else behind you that knows, okay, you came in 4 spots behind me and came out 2 spots ahead of me. We obviously know you took 2 tires. It's a given. They're gonna know it. And if they have any kind of scoring and they're reading that scoring like we are, they know what they did. So you're their guinea pig too. So it's less costly on them. However, there is one other scenario to this as the lights go off. If it works really good and you're able to pull out in front of them and we say green and you get, a 2-second lead on them, then even though you have that knowledge, it may not do you as much good if they're ahead of you by that much.
Well, just to let you know, we do have 2 drivers that did take a behind the wall. Stephen Hamill and Calvin Gretorix take a behind the wall. So we're down 2 drivers, and also Matt Dyer is still sitting on pit road.
That's unfortunate for Matt Dyer. He was involved in that first caution as he's been there for 14 minutes so far. So unfortunate for Matt Dyer there. As we'll hope that he gets back out again. It doesn't matter if you're 1 lap down or 20 laps down. Every position counts. It's points. And coming up in the chase in 2 weeks, they're going to need all the points they can get as the pace car dives off. And we get ready to race. And whew, Shane Therian kind of spun those tires on that restart.
And Ryan Hartz didn't get the start that he really wanted. And now look at this here. Cody's going to come up to the inside of Ryan Hartz. And, this is a true factor that about since, a couple of builds ago, I guess, how all the cars are reacting in dirty air. Ryan Hartz was out there in that clean air and had the whole track to himself. And the guys were behind him. Now he's in dirty air. What's he going to have for Shane coming up?
Yeah, this will be interesting to find out as Slaudecker going way below the white line. He is side by side. I thought he would have completed this pass by now on the 3 of Hartz, but it hasn't worked out that way as Hartz able to pull back ahead of him. So clearly Hartz has a really fast truck regardless whether he's in dirty air, clean air. It's enough to pull away from the cars behind you in dirtier air. The question is, like you said, is it going to be enough in dirty air to get ahead of that 38 machine of Shane Therian, who's got that nice clean air in front of him, getting nice, refreshing that clean air to that radiator?
Well, just knowing that he only took 2 tires, Ryan might be just sitting there waiting because eventually those other 2 tires are going to get so old. He's going to be driving on slicks on that side. So you've got to, well, they are on slicks, but you know what I mean. They're going to have to think about, and he's going to be studying that. He's going to be watching Shane there, and just to see how strong he's going to be, and look for his weaknesses. Now here comes Cody back underneath him, and trying to make that pass on Shane, but he's not going to be, or I'm sorry, Ryan Hart, he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they were to go, 2 wide, maybe even 3 wide with those older tires. I didn't get a look to see which side he took, but these trucks already slide up this track on fresh tires. So it makes you wonder, depending on what sides he took, if he gets into a 2 wide situation where he is on the inside, is that truck going to have the grip it needs to slide up a little bit in grip, or is it just going to keep sliding, and then we could see a caution up here at the front? Again, a caution involving Shane Therian could possibly take out Ryan Hart's, Cody Slaudecker, and anybody else that's right there with him, and that would be 3 to 4 very fast drivers quickly out of this race. So let's hope those 2 tires do hold up.
Well, the thing about doing a 2-tire change like that, and not only like you mentioned of it being early enough to kind of test the theory and see how it's going to work, but if you're experiencing a tight truck, going into the corners and it's really tight and wants to slide up that, sometimes just doing a 2-tire change kind of frees that truck up a little bit and loosens it up so you're not so tight going into the corners, and it is a little bit more manageable to drive.
Yeah, definitely when that truck as drivable as possible at any track, especially here in Kansas. We mentioned it earlier. This track, I wouldn't call it a driver's track. It is a tough track to drive, especially driving inches away from that outside wall, borderline on the edge of out of control as it is. But Shane Therian doing a really good job on those 2 tires. As we go a little further back, here comes Josh Coley, going to take the 7th position away. Again, he restarted in 4th, fell back to 8th. He's up to 7th now, so maybe that truck isn't quite handling like he wanted. Those 2 tires didn't help it any.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on him. We'll go a little further back, just a few spots. We got a good little battle starting to happen between the 10 and the 4. That is going to be Drew Ashley and Alex Walter back here. We'll see. They're all running down Dylan Browning in that 12 machine. A second ago, these guys were 3 wide for 7th position. So we'll see if they continue that. Again, you talk about tire wear. 2 and 3 wide isn't going to help matters anything, because you're really going to have to steer this truck to keep it off of somebody down on the bottom or up top. So that's going to wear these tires out a little bit more.
Well, I always say that some of the best racing you'll see is mid-pack. These guys race so hard back here, and what you just seen right there, Drew Ashley drove around the outside there of Alex Walter, and now it looks like the 29 there of Logan Breaky, I guess it is he, look at that right up the middle, and he's gonna get a twofer out of that going into the corner.
Is the 63 gonna fall back a few spots of Alex Walter? So unfortunate for him, he's going backwards. As we go to the front, here comes a battle for the lead. Ryan Hart's to the inside, and here comes Cody Slaudecker as well. Those 3 have bunched back up. Throw a blanket over them right now. As those 2 tires, again, it's interesting because the 38's 2 tires are working pretty good for him where he's running. Obviously, they didn't work so good for Josh Coley, but I think those 2 tires may be starting to fade, because that 3 and the 45 of Hart and Slaudecker are really catching him.
Yeah, look at this. See, now, this is where Ryan Hart's is going to get him going into the corner. But the good thing is Shane did get to lead some laps. That's, that's a great thing right there. Ooh. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide, and they do make contact.
Contact
Shane
with
gets into
each
the
other.
wall.
That was insane. Contact with the wall, contact with each other. I don't know how any of them just survived that, but
I know it.
I'm wondering if Hart's, it was a strategic move there to kind of hold the 39 up higher on the track and they scraped the wall because of those tires just didn't have the grip they needed to hold it off the wall, and he kind of holds him there. And that happened. He didn't wreck him, but he definitely made it tough, and he was able to get that pass and has kind of rocketed to about a 6 car lead now.
Yeah, he made it to where Shane definitely had to lift, just making it tough for him. So, and when he lifted, it was over. Ryan got that run on him.
It did indeed, and now that little bit of damage you had, see the 38 of Therian has damage to the back of that truck. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
You can see it, and that's going to allow the 48 of Christian Gomez to get by. And now one of his teammates, Robert Kinney's going to squeeze by him as well on the low side. So, you know that damage has got to be slowing him down, as there's damage to the front as well. If cars are passing you on the inside now, you definitely want to see what
we got a
damage
caution. Trevor Blythe.
Yep, Trevor Blythe bringing out the caution. We'll take a look and see what happened in that number 5.
Something's going on with his. He may be having computer problems or something, because he had got into the wall, and it looks like he did. That's something, he locked it down right here. Yeah, something definitely happened right there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
A direct shot headed right towards the wall, so something happened. He locks it down like you said. Yeah, so something definitely happened, because that little bit of damage when he scraped the wall would not be enough to cause that truck to just come to a halt like that. But speaking of coming into a halt, everybody's about to come to a halt as they're coming down pit road. We'll see. Shane Therian, I'm thinking he's going to take 4 tires this time.
Yeah, I think he learned a lesson right there. I mean, once he did get into the wall and it did do that little bit of damage to the car, or to the truck, I should say. Yeah, I think he learned right there, but it was a good call. It was a really good call to try it out, And Robert Kinney looks like he missed his pit stall and does a drive-through, and he is going to come out of there. But let's see if Ryan Hart's. It looks like everybody's doing a 4-tire change. Yeah. And Ryan Hart's will lead him off of pit road.
Yeah, and interesting there that I'm not sure what happened there to Robert Kinney other than missing his stall. We'll pull up some information on him real quick. Started 5th, and he will look like he was fixing to pull into about the 3rd pit stall, so he missed it by about 2 stalls.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll come into pit road now. He does not want to stay out there with, like 15, 18 lap old tires, because they're just going to eat him alive when they go back green. So he'll come back into pit road here.
Yeah, he has to. Not to mention, with that many laps on his tires, that's half a fuel run basically. So he would have had to come down a lot sooner than everybody else. And, speak of the 34, we do have 134 laps left to go, make it 133 now. So we've seen a few cautions so far. 3 cautions here for 7 laps. Not a large amount of cautions. But that being said, cautions do breed cautions, and with 134 laps left to go, we could see those cautions stack up, and we know we'll have one at the completion of lap 84 for the stage as well. So the question is, how many cautions will we have? That Rudy, I think that you know as well as I do, that's a question we just can't answer.
Oh, right. Yeah. Especially at this track, like I said, it's kind of a one groove track. A lot of people some people like to run this because it does kind of put everybody on top of each other. But if you can get guys like these here that pull away from the rest of the field where they're not packed up on top of each other, it is some pretty good racing, but it is so difficult to pass.
Yeah, and passing it has been key and will be key for the remainder of this race. Again, for those that just tuning in with us, well, we're glad you're here for 1. And 2, of course, you're watching the Adrenaline iRacing League. here live on LSR TV. Of course, I am your host, Charles Wooten. Alongside me tonight is Rudy Cummings from over at Max Speed and TV. So we've said it once, we'll say it again. We're glad to have you here, Rudy. It's rare we get to be in the booth together,
Right.
but it's good to have you here. As those lights are going off, we will go green with 131 laps to go in this race. And we still currently have about 16 drivers on the lead lap of the 22 that started this race. Tyler Blythe has retired that number 5 machine. As you mentioned earlier, Stefan Hamill and Calvin Gretorix have packed them up into the trailers. Matt Dyer still sitting on pit road 27 minutes. He's looking to get back in this thing. He'll be roughly at least 40-ish laps down or more. But hey, like we mentioned earlier, every position counts when you're going for the points championship.
Charles, I'll be right back.
All right. Get him back here in just a moment as we're ready to take the green flag one more time. We'll bring your sidebar down onto the screen. As it looks like Hart's going to get a good jump on the rest of this field. The Slaughter going to be behind him in that second position, followed by Gomez, who takes third away from the Trenton jump. And we got a good little battle going on here for third position at the moment between Trenton jump and Christian Gomez. But it looks like Jump's going to take the position away. The Alex Walter in that number 63 machine. He's been running good all night long. Taking a look. Started in the 10th position. He's currently up to 6th. Really a good job for him at getting a couple of positions here. So he's going to gain one more. Now he's going to go to 5th. He's gained 5 positions. And another good mover is that 53 of Eric Stamp. He has gained about 5-6 positions himself, maybe 7 or 8 all total, but a good run for him as well. Ryan Hart, though, still out front, but under heavy pressure from Cody Slaughter here at the moment in the number 45 machine. Can he get him? Slaughter has been right there with him pretty much all race long. If you've been here with us since the start of this race, Slaughter has been very fast and very competitive with that 3 machine. We check in with Shane Therian way back in the field now. He's back there with the only other driver that took 2 tires, 33 of Josh Coley. Of course, he has a little bit of damage. That's going to slow him down, but not enough to let Coley by him. So we'll have to keep an eye on those 2. Again, the only 2 drivers thus far in this race to take a 2-tire stop. Both of them hanging around in the 15th and 16th in tonight's race so far. So we'll keep an eye on these guys. We're going to go up a few spots here. Robert Kinney hanging on to a good position, but we're going to go a few more spots up as we got Logan Brakey going to the inside of the 10 of Steve Durham. Durham going to try to hang on to it. Oh, almost gets into the outside wall, though, but he saves it from disaster. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in tonight's race. Oh, we got some cars getting into the outside wall, and that's going to be the 4 of Drew Ashley scraping the outside wall and scrape some of the paint off that truck and leave it permanently on the outside wall. And what a move from that 12 of Dylan Browning as he launches to the outside lane. Shane Therian going to be behind him. Tanner Johnson behind him as well. And they're getting really dicey here in these last couple of laps. Here's on lap 43 at the moment. We'll get to the sidebar and bring up your main bar. You can see right there Matt Dyer and Calvin Gretorix out of this race. And I believe Rudy is back.
Justin Teal just got really tight there going into the corner. and he got passed up by Shane Therian and let's see, who was that? Dylan Browning. Yeah, he got passed up by both of them.
Yeah, these guys have been really getting after it here in the last couple of laps. I'm not sure if a switch got flipped as we got a go mode here, as we're still way early into this race. But again, just about 5 to 8 minutes ago, I said we were on about 140-ish to go. Here it is, 124 to go. So we're starting to click those laps off pretty quickly here, as Hart's still out front. Slaughter has been there ever since this restart, but hasn't made a move to try to pass. It's not even that he can't catch him. He's there. He just really hasn't made that move. Makes me wonder if Slaughter's out there trying to plan this move very methodically, because he knows he's only going to have one or two shots at it. We'll keep an eye on the front two here tonight and see how they perform the rest of the night. Trenton jump in third place right now, the highest he has been all night. As he started sixth, he's in a third. He's got damage, but then again, Rudy, if you look through a lot of this field, there are a lot of trucks that have damage. So I would be venturing to say that it's a possibility that a damaged truck could still win this race.
Yeah, well, with Shane back here now, he did get up there and lead 14 laps. So, and like I said, I don't really believe that he got a lot of damage on it. I mean, it doesn't take much to knock the aerodynamics out of one of these trucks. So, with just a tick of damage on a fender, it could be enough that's slowing him. Oh, man. Austin, man, he got into the wall big time right there.
Yeah, Austin retorts a hard look to the outside wall.
Yeah.
It's one of those that you can tell it was a hard lick. You can see the tire itself now, as that whole front is caved in. So that, again, was a hard lick. And I think he realizes it, too. He's pulling it down pit road.
Yep.
Unfortunate for him, he had a solid top 10 run, but we'll see him come down pit road. That may possibly end his night. I can't imagine him coming down if the truck would handle like it should be. So obviously the handling on that 15 machine is not working like it should, and he is going to bring it in and to sit on pit road as we go back to the front. We got lap cars coming into the picture now. That is going to be Bronson Stafford. This possibly could be a good time for Slaughter to try to make a move.
Oh, and he's blinking too. That makes it harder. But yeah, Ryan Hart's. I'll tell you, the way Cody was looking there a few minutes ago, Charles, it was, he took a look to the inside of Ryan Hart's, but again, on that bottom, it is so difficult to try to make that pass. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it on new tires, and these guys have been out here for 15 laps now.
Yeah, and in 15 laps, they're probably hoping either caution comes out and they're not involved, or can we just skip forward to the next 15 laps so we can get some fuel in there and get some fresh feel goods on there, these trucks. Again, 15 laps with tires that are getting more and more worn. It's not fun to drive sometimes. You look at their last laps, 32.751, and their best lap, 31.781. So you're looking at roughly a second, maybe a little over a second, slower on their time. So not only are you slower, the truck doesn't want to handle for you. It's like being in 5 o'clock traffic with an ill handling car, but at the same time, it's 5 o'clock traffic that's doing 180 plus miles an hour.
True. Well, Trenton jumped 1 second behind those two leaders up there, and we're still waiting to see if there's going to be a pass, but I was kind of keeping an eye on Shane Therian. He did actually get by Eric Stamp and goes into the 9th place. So he's back into the top 10 here, Charles, and moving his way forward. So slowly but surely, he's actually closing up on Robert Kenny right now.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see Robert Kenny going to be one of his teammates that he's going to have to get by. You know, a teammate's going to race you hard. I don't think he'll just let him by. As he's going to try to get every position he can as well. Robert Kenny having a good run. So we'll see how that one plays out when it's all said and done. But no, Austin Retorix in that 15 machine is back out on the track. Here he is currently 3 laps down. He spent a minute 25 on pit road. So he went in there and it looks like he got what optional stuff he could get fixed to help the handling of that truck. But unfortunately, 3 laps down, an ill-handling truck that looks like it went through a war zone is probably not going to be a winning formula here tonight.
And Josh Colley's just now returning to the track. He's going to be on the same lap as Austin is, 3 laps down. So, Josh, I don't know exactly what happened there, whether he got caught up in something or maybe he hit the wall, but did stop on pit road, get that damage fixed, apparently, change new tires, topped it off with fuel, and he's good to go for a little while now.
Yeah, and he was just running back there with the 38 of Shane Therian, so I'm not sure what happened to him either. Whatever it was, did not bring out a caution. So interesting there. We may have to go back and check later, but or chat with him if we can, but did not bring out a caution. So not sure what happened there. As still up front, we keep checking in with him. 0.166 seconds separating your front two, now 0.150. Again, if the slightest mistake, if Hart just sneezes wrong and just barely scrapes that wall, Cody Slaughter is going to be able to pass him. So right now, I would say that Hart's is in that hot seat as he cannot make a single mistake right now.
And we got another battle back here for 6th place. Alex Walter and Logan Brakey. These two in a pretty good battle. Brakey giving, oh, there he goes. There, man, we've been seeing that a lot today. The guys are driving it so hard that they're actually getting tight in the corners and going into the wall. So Alex Walter into the wall.
And that is something unfortunate. You don't want to scrape the wall, and it's been happening quite a bit here as we're coming up on 110 laps to go. So you've got to keep that truck as clean as you can. But again, I said it once and I'll say it again. If everybody keeps getting tight or getting loose and sliding into the wall or getting tight and sliding up into the wall, if everybody's got that damage, is your damage really all that bad? It may come down to who has the least amount of damage and who can get their damage repaired. As it looks like we have Robert Kenny coming down pit road again in that number 34 machine. And he was just down recently when he missed his pit stall. So he had an extra lap compared to everyone else, but he's going ahead and coming down again.
Well, we were talking about just a few minutes ago about Shane Therian, but I did want to mention again, it took him a few laps to kind of assess how much damage that actually was on that truck. And now that he's back out there and passed a few cars, he's assessed the damage and found out how it's going to drive. And he is pretty much in clean air right now. It's a 9.9 seconds up to the leader, but he's about a second, 1.2 seconds behind Alex Walter. So pretty much in clean air right now. So I think he's taken a look at how much damage is on that truck and found out that it's still pretty fast.
Yeah, it's definitely still got some speed in it. Of course, like you said, Walter will be his next one to try to catch. And if he can catch Alex Walter, it won't be too long before he can catch Logan Brakey as well. And that may be the break he needed. And it looks like the 63 and the 29 are going to come down pit road. And they get woed up in time. So that's going to give him 5th position. But people coming down, these drivers are coming down 26 laps into a stint. Again, we were looking at pit stops between 30 and 35. This is well short of that fuel window that we were looking for.
Well, my experience with that, Charles, and just to kind of let some of the viewers know there that sometimes drivers, when they come into a race, they calculate out when they want to stop. They've already got it pre-calculated out. Now I know caution sometimes throws that off a little bit and they have to go back to and recalculate everything. But when they plan on, said laps and make it in so many pit stops, sometimes that throws it off a little bit. Or it could possibly be maybe the trucks were just handling really terrible and they wanted to come in. But here comes our leaders in. They're both coming in together. Ryan Hartz and Cody Sloddecker. Did I say that right?
That is correct. Cody Sloddecker coming in with your leader, and he kind of locks up the brakes there. Going to flat spot those tires possibly, but good news is he's getting 4 fresh good ones, so feel good. So that won't be too big an issue, and he is right on the bumper of that 3 right now, as they're both going to come in to a stop, and Cody has to back it up just a little bit, and that's going to cost him about a second. That's going to be costly,
yes. Well, Trenton Jump stayed out long enough to lead a lap, and here he comes into pit road. That should give the lead up to Dylan Browning. Now, I don't know if he'll stay out just long enough here to lead a lap, but he's in desperate need of new tires and some fuel right now, but he is going to stay out and lead a lap.
He is indeed, as he comes around, and that'll do it right there. He does lead that lap. As you see, Dylan Browning actually is still scoring him as 0 laps led.
Yeah, Trent had passed the start-finish line before Dylan got there, so Dylan's going to have to go around one more time if he wants to get a lap led.
And Trenton Jump being scored second still. Obviously, Ryan Hartz and Christian Gomez and them going to have to come around, but he's going down the pit road.
Yeah.
This will be interesting to see if he can lead that lap still.
He should. Yeah, he will. He'll cross the line before Ryan Hartz gets to him. So,
yeah, Ryan Hartz on the backstretch right now. So Dylan Browning, safe to lead this one.
Yep, he gets it.
There you go. So 1 lap led for Dylan Browning as we switch back to your upcoming race leader who crosses the line. He's led 45 laps in this race so far. Obviously the most of anybody, as he has been dominant here. And right now he's got a 1.2 second lead over Christian Gomez, who is still on the backstretch. It seems like a lot, but that's about 5 car lengths. It's not really as much as you might think it is.
Yeah, well, you know, going back to what Cody had slid through the pit stop and had to back up, now that puts him back here quite a ways in positions. He's clear back in 6th. Just that extra couple of seconds that you spend on pit road, guys got by him that quick.
Yeah, they definitely did, and that's not what you want to see. And getting back here in the mix of things, not saying any of these drivers back here are, worse drivers or anything like that, but like you see right there, almost scraping the wall from Logan Brakey. When you get in the middle of the field or the rear of the field, people race a little bit more aggressive because they want to try to get to the front. And that's what you see right there as these guys racing. And your chances of being involved in an incident go up significantly.
Well, Schlaudecker actually did get into the wall. So with Logan kind of leaving him, I'm sorry, that wasn't Logan. That was Steve Durham. Durham kind of did the same thing there that Ryan Hartz did earlier, and made Cody pass him, try to pass him on the outside, and kind of pinched him up close to the wall, and Cody did get into the wall. Now, I don't believe there's a whole bunch of damage on that truck, so it's obviously still fast, but 8.2 seconds behind the leader right now.
Yeah, and that's a good way to get by people. We mentioned it a second ago, but you want to get spotted somebody, give them room, but give them room in the line they don't like to use. If the line's up top, hold them down low. You don't pinch them off too much. You just make them have to run a line that the truck really doesn't want to run, and that will make them check up. The alternative is they don't check up and wreck both of you, but it's going to make them check up a little bit, and it's going to make them have to lose a little bit of speed, and you're going to get by them. It's a strategy. Some people call it dirty, whatever, but it has been used since, the very first race car was ever invented, basically, and they put them on a racetrack. People will do what they have to do to get around somebody, and that is a good way to do it. And he is moving on. He's up to 4th position. He's going to try to run down Robert Kenny, who is in 4th position. I have a feeling he'll catch him. I think Cody has a really fast truck. But that 8 seconds is going to be a big deficit to try to make up to Ron Hart's.
Well, when he passed Steve Durham and Logan Brakey, they have been out there actually about 4 laps longer than Cody had. So 4 laps is just enough to put wear on them tires, and I think that's how he managed to get by him. And luckily he did it on the bottom. He went to the bottom to make that pass complete. So that just kind of shows you the difference in the tire wear between, like 12-lap old tires and 8-lap old tires.
And tires are a huge factor here. You mentioned it earlier, especially here at Kansas. When you have, one particular line that's the line to run, you want to make sure you have fresh tires, because if you get out of that groove and that truck starts pushing, that is bad news for a lot of people. Especially you look here back towards the 10, the 29, the 38 involved in here, even count the 63 in this. If one person makes a mistake, you could easily wad up 2 to 4 cars in an incident. And again, you do not want to do that right there as the 10 gets into the wall. Luckily, everyone's able to get around him on the bottom side.
Yeah, this is mid-pack here. This is where the racing, I always say mid-pack is where the racing's at, The guys up front, those guys are fast. They just pull away from the field. But the racing back in the mid-pack of the field is always really exciting.
It definitely is. And somebody's going around.
Oh.
I don't know who that is.
That was Eric's. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
Cody Slaudicker, our second.
Oh, what?
Slaudicker going around. We got to go back and take a look and see what happened. But your was second place driver going around here. And I mentioned you get further in the field, incidents seem to happen.
Contact between him and the 34 there of Robert Kenny. Looks like Cody, when he made that pass, he did the slide job on Robert, and when he did, it slowed him up enough going into the corner that Robert got into the back of him.
That is unfortunate for Cody, as he had a good run going, and looks like he's going to try to sit this one out and get damage repaired, as that will put him back 1 lap down in 13th position. Everybody else is coming down pit road. But I will note, if you look at the front of that 34 machine, he does have damage. So again, 2 more damaged trucks out here. The odds of a damaged truck winning this race are going up lap by lap right now.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I know your pick there, Bronson Stafford. He did take his car finally behind the wall. I think he just had enough with all that damage. But now Reinhardt's trying to be the first one off of pit road. Let's see if he's going to do it. We got guys down and away. Oh, did we get a 2-tire change? We did. Christian Gomez, 2 tires. Logan Brakey and Alex Walder, all 2-tire changes.
So 3 people taking 2 tires early in this race. I've said this before, and I'll say it now again, that if you're going to take 2 tires, and if you may be a sitting duck, right now we still have 94 laps to go. None of these drivers are a sitting duck out there. But if this was later in the race and you took 2 tires and you would have been that sitting duck, if you have, 2, 3, 4, up to 5 or 6 more drivers that do the same thing, that is good for you. This is a good strategy for later on in the race if we have a green, white checkered or something like that, because the more trucks those fresh tires have to pass to get to you is good. And it'll work now too. You look at Ryan Hartz. He's now sitting in 4th position. By the time he maybe gets to that leader, those tires are going to be a little bit worn out.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking myself too, because he's going to be starting 4th on the outside. Now, we know the high side is where these guys are going to want to run, especially these guys that took 2 tires. Watch for tire spin. It's going to be very important on these takeoffs, and they will get tire spin with these trucks here, and with only taking 2 tires, makes it a little bit more apt to happen. So, and if Ryan kind of does what he did there earlier, just kind of pedals it and rides around for about 5, 6, 8 laps or so. That kind of equalizes the tires a little bit, and he's got heat built up on him. And watch him go to the bottom, and he might just wind up taking all three of them in one lap.
Yeah, he very well could. Now, while we're under caution, real fast, we once again want to thank everybody for tuning in, regardless of where you are, whether you're watching it on Facebook or if you are watching it in ultra high definition 1440p here on the YouTube channel. We thank you for tuning in here tonight. Of course, iRacing Live, big shout out for them tuning in over there as well. And of course, I am host for tonight, Charles Wooden, alongside me, Rudy Cummings. It has been an interesting race here. We've had a lot of good battles going on. We've had some, one dominant driver, but not out in the front right now. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get back to the front now. I have a feeling he will, but I don't think it's going to be immediately. I think he's going to have to work through some of these trucks.
Well, I wanted to say thank you for letting me bully you into asking me to help you. I'm kidding.
We always enjoy having you here. We have to beg him sometimes, but he comes in here with us and we need him. Always
like
good.
I said, all you got to do is ask, But you weren't going to ask. I had to make you ask me.
And, for anyone that likes him, you're going to get a dose of him on the 9th of April as well for the Northwest Truck Series. We're getting ready to take the green flag and see, get that. And contact.
I was just talking about. Oh my gosh! And guess who got took out on that? Ryan Hartz.
That is unfortunate for Ryan Hartz. We got to go back and take a look at the replay.
Alex Walter looks like spun it.
The 63 of Alex Walter on those tires, just not working. 2 tires, 8.9 second stop. Let's take a quick look here as we will go.
Man.
If we can pull it up, there we go to the aerial cam here tonight. Again, brought to you by All American Bulls. And right there, 2 tires don't work, and your front runner here tonight just pretty much gets obliterated, and just about the only truck that got involved in it because he was on the outside. That is just unfortunate. You talk about sometimes if you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all. That's just downright bad luck right there. Gets ready for it and just nowhere to go.
Well, the good thing about that is I think Ryan actually he didn't have enough speed built up to do a whole lot of damage on the nose. A little bit on that right front corner. I think he took more on the side there where Alex Walter got into the side of him. I think maybe got a little bit more damage off of that. But actually, I wouldn't count out Ryan Hartz to get that truck back out there, though.
Yeah, he definitely will probably still have a little bit of speed. And the truck was so faster, he was quite a bit faster than everyone else to begin with. So, if anything, this may have just leveled the playing field for the rest of the drivers.
So, that is true.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes. As he's going to pull it down pit road and bring it to a stop. Cody Slaughter still on the pit road. We have lost quite a few drivers. And that's not Slaughter. That is the 48. Slaughter has pulled it into the trailer. His night is going to be done a little bit early. So a quick update here as we get to the front of the field. Your leader at the moment, Logan Brakey, Cody Slaughter, Jared Matthew, Bronson Stafford, Drew Ashley, Tyler Blythe, Stephen Hamill, and Calvin Gretorix have packed it up here for tonight. Matt Dyer still sitting on pit road for quite some time now, but a huge chunk of our drivers are now out of this race due to damage.
Well, I wanted to mention this, Charles. If you remember a little while ago here, Josh Colley was a lap down, and he did get the wave by. He's back on the lead lap. He's making his pit stop now, but he's currently back in 9th place. So Another driver that I would not count out right there, Josh Colley.
Yeah, I'll be looking for him to possibly be into the top five here very soon. If he can do it again, getting your lap back is definitely a good thing. You want to get that back as quickly as you can. We still have 89 laps to go, so I definitely think he has time to get to the front. And at the rate we're dropping some of our fast trucks out of this race, and most notably now Ryan Hart, who has packed it up, his night is done. I figured he maybe would come back out, but he has opted to just kind of lick the wounds, put a band-aid on them, and just stop the bleeding and come back next week.
Yeah, and that's a shame because he led so many laps, and just that would just one of them deals. And it looks like Alex Walter took his behind the wall too. So one of them deals that trying to look at it here. He did lead 55 laps, which yeah, I guess in reality, I'm not going to count him out of leading the most laps here tonight because we've had a few lead changes, and some of the guys that have led the most laps here tonight now are currently out of the race. And if we can get somebody out there that is going to really do well and maybe lead a whole bunch more laps, maybe Logan Brakey can go out there and break that record of 55 laps and walk out of here with the most laps led tonight.
Yeah, and we've had about half this field been taken out of the race so far due to wrecks and damage. And I can't help but think of one quote that comes to mind, and I'm not going to verbatim quote it because I don't know verbatim, but think back several years ago to Tony Stewart in the NASCAR scene when he was being interviewed. And we all know, if you've been around racing long enough, Tony Stewart gave some epic interviews to announcers. Or to pit road reporters, and I believe it was a Daytona race, and they asked him, how the race was going or something, and he told them that something to the effect, well, we haven't met our quota for wrecking cars this race, or something like that.
Yeah.
That quote comes to mind. I'd have to look it up to see it. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. But we have a lot of cars out of this race so far. And that's the only thing that comes to mind. But I do think Logan Brakey could possibly lead some more laps here. But he's having a little bit of a connection issue as well.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. And that makes it harder for the guys behind him, too, not knowing where that guy's at. And looks like he has opted to go to the high side here, which might be a good call. He's going to be the commander of this start, so if he's blinking, that gives the bottom layer to Trenton jump. And that might be Trenton's call right there to try to get by him with that blinking issue.
Yeah, very well it could be. And again, we're looking right now, your front two have damage to the car. We'll check back. Shane Therian has got damage. So does currently fourth position, and so does fifth. Sixth, I believe, does as well. Seventh does. Literally everyone out on this track, pretty much at the moment, has damage. Josh Coley looking like he's got a clean truck. Nope, he's got damage to the back as well. So my odds that I said a wrecked truck would be in victory lane are about 100% right now.
Yeah. Well, Kelly said it looks great on the big 80-inch screen TV. I'll bet it does. Yes, sir. I'll bet it. Or ma'am. Sir or ma'am. Not sure which. All right, pace car's in. Here we go. Back to green. Logan Brakey did get a good jump on that start.
Yes, he did. And we'll bring it up just for the big screen here. Let's pull down the sidebar so you can see where everybody is. And right now we have 11 drivers on the lead lap, and those are the only drivers that are on the track. I stand corrected. Austin, your torques on the track. We have 12 drivers on the track. 11 of those are on the lead lap right now. And it's been a good battle between everyone here today throughout this field, but here comes that 46 of Trent Jump, and he's going to try to take that lead.
And he does clear him, but is he going to have to lift it? Is we going to get the crossover here from Logan? I don't think Logan's going to have enough horsepower to get by him.
I'm beginning to wonder if these drivers are thinking we're on a dirt track here, as we've seen I've seen more crossovers and slide jumps here than I have in some dirt races. So, the slide jobs and the crossover coming back has been a huge here tonight. You go back a couple of spots to Shane Theory and Robert Kinney, two teammates, which I want to point out. You have teammates in 1 and 2, teammates in 3 and 4. We have two independent teams here. So, if we could get these two together, it'd be interesting to see team battle versus team battle, who'd come out on top.
And we are at the halfway mark, Charles. So 83 and a half down, 83 and a half to go.
And this should call the caution as they cross the line for the stage caution, as there it is. So that's going to be a stage caution. Nobody wrecked on the field this time, on the track this time. So we will get rid of the sidebar off the screen. And since there's nothing to really go over, we're going to step away to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. You can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
If I'm going to be able to stay there.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Under caution, of course, this time for the stage caution. Nothing happening on a track. They did come down pit road, and we talked about Robert Kinney there. He is your race leader, but he's going to come back down the pit road. He took 2 tires on that last one, but he is opting to come down again. That's going to give the lead to Shane Therian now.
And, theoretically, mathematically, I should say, with Shane now getting back to the front, which we were concerned about there earlier when he got into the wall and did damage to his truck and fell back through the field, even clear back to like 10th. And after cautions and everything there, had even fallen back to like 13th or 14th. And now he's back up in the lead. And mathematically, he could come out of here with the most laps led tonight. But I don't know if these guys are going to let him do that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching to see how it goes for these guys. As right now, your top 5 are Shane Therian, Logan Brakey, Trenton Jump, Eric Stamp, Steve Durham are going to be your top 5 drivers. 12 drivers remain, 11 on the lead lap. And I stand corrected. After 11 and a half minutes, that 84 machine of Matt Dyer is back on the racetrack. I told you, every position counts, every point counts. He is currently 62 laps down, but he's 5 laps down to 19th place. So he will pick up some positions here with 80 to go. He very well could pass about 6-7 cars and could have a top 15, possibly maybe even a top 12 before it's all said and done.
Well, the lights are out, so we're going green next time by on lap number 90.
Lap number 90 going to be underway when we take the green. That'll be 78 laps to go. We'll see how quickly these last 70-ish laps can go. Hopefully a little bit faster than the first half of this race. We did have a couple of cautions. We'll quickly pull that up for you. 6 cautions in the first half of this race. 18 laps under caution. And, of course, 11 different lead changes. A lot of that coming under caution, as really for the first half of the first half, we really didn't have any lead changes. They all went to Ryan Hart's. Then from that kind of point, when Ryan Hart's had his incident, it was kind of a turning point per se. And from that point on, we've seen several different leaders. Makes you wonder what the second half is going to bring for this field. How many more lead changes we'll have? We could reach into the 20s. And green flag is out, and we are racing once again. Bring up your main bar onto the screen here for the Adrenaline iRacing League live on LSR TV. As it is going to be Shane Therian out front, Shinton Jump trying to run him down. Logan Breaky there, Eric Stamp, and we got him stacking up and into the wall. The Justin Teal spinning it.
Teal, yep. Oh, man.
Take a look and see what happened on the replay cam as we saw him get into the outside wall. But I'm not sure quite what happened. If he may have got loose or did he get tagged from behind? As we're about to find out. That's a 32 Bud Light machine. Hard lick, and eventually spins it. But what was the ultimate cause?
And it looks like he did get into the wall a little bit, and then he did get tagged from behind.
And that's unfortunate as he brings it to a stop. And right there's what brings out the caution. He almost had it saved. And then in the end, loops it around to bring out the caution for the 7th time here tonight. I don't think anybody's going to come down pit road. But we have continued the caution trend from the first half of this race. As we are on 7th caution of the night, and I stand corrected. We have quite a few drivers in the back coming down pit road.
Well, and remember, one of those cautions was the stage caution, so technically only 6 physical cautions.
That's true. 6 physical cautions due to the stage caution being one of those. So this will be interesting to see now. How this shakes things up. 76 laps to go. If they can make 30 laps, there's 30, 60. That is at least 2 more pit stops that these guys must make in this race. And we've already seen some of these drivers looking at pit stops here, anywhere from 5 to 10 pit stops. If you look at Steve Durham, who's leaving pit road right now in that 10 machine, he has made 10 pit stops here tonight. It's a good thing here tonight that they don't have a tire limit of any kind, because if they did, some of these guys would be getting pretty close to it with, 7, 8, 9, 10 pit stops.
Now, do they have any green-white checkers, Charles?
Yes, they do have 2 attempts at a green-white checkered.
Oh, okay. So that you gotta kind of plan for that too. When they make their final pit stop, depending on where they're at that moment there, they do have to kind of plan ahead for that. Some drivers do and some drivers don't. They take a chance on it, maybe staying green the rest of the way. Because track position is so valuable, they don't want to give up that track position to head down pit road and just put a splash of gas and go,
Yeah, definitely, there's so many strategies that you can do here. You've got to account for everything in a race, and green white checkers being one of those. We'll see how they count. Again, I think at this point in the race, we have 75 laps to go. If you come down with in the next 30 laps, that will put you about 45 laps to go. If you were to come down again, that would put you about 15 to go. I think that's going to be what we'll see here doing. I would do that personally. You know,
Yeah.
if you can make 15 laps or 30 laps, that's 15-ish laps to go. That's going to put you 15 to the good. So green, white, checkered, you'd be safe. So, you know, I'm thinking 30 to 32 laps, and we'll see these guys back down. And that does count. We have to count in these laps here under caution, which has basically been about 5 laps. So most of what these guys have run on this stint has been caution. Again, basically to recap, a lot of strategies in play here. Not sure who's using what strategy, when they're going to come down. All we know is 30 to 35 laps on fuel. I think they're coming down closer to the 30. I think you probably agree there. But the lights are off, so we're going to go racing this next time by with 73 laps to go. And we are set here. I believe Rudy might have stepped away for the moment to take care of
No,
some
I'm here.
Oh, there we
I'm
go.
here.
We got him. It's,
Sorry.
we'll see again. The pace car getting ready to dive off. These guys getting a little heat in their tires back here. Robert Kinney swerving it back and forth. The 38 of Shane Therian out front. Again, I think he's got a good shot here. As we'll bring up that top bar onto your screen. He's led 5 laps. He needs a few more if he wants to get the most laps led for those bonus points. But he's got plenty of time here to lead the most with Hart's out. He needs about 50 to 60 laps more led to get it.
That was a good jump by him, but I'm going to tell you, watch Trenton jump, because Trenton has been able to run Shane down there. He did in that last stint. So keep an eye on Trenton jump right now.
Trenton jump going to try to get that 46 machine in the victory lane here tonight. And he'd love nothing better than to take his teammate with him, Logan Brakey. We'll see if they can possibly do that here. We haven't checked in on this information here a little bit. We do have some extra information from our other scoring tower here. Right as they run, Shane Therian plus 3 positions to the good. 4 positions for Trenton Jump. As well, let's make that 5 and 2 as Trenton Jump gonna take the lead, and they make contact and Therian into the outside wall.
Oh, not again.
What?
Oh, man.
This time not bringing out a caution, but once again Therian battling for the lead and getting a hard shot to the front of that car. And as I said, he was 5 or more to the good. Now he is -6. He has lost 6 positions since the start of this race. However, the other truck involved in that incident just there, Logan Brakey, he is 12 positions to the good right now since the start of this race. So he's gained a lot, but will that damage slow him down now?
Yeah, and now the battle there that Shane was battling with Trenton Jump, Trenton has fallen back to 3rd, and look who's knocking on his door, Josh Culley. He got around Tanner Johnson, and man, he's made a big move here now up to 4th place, and we were concerned about him, like I said a few laps ago, and thinking that he was a lap down, and got back on the lead lap, and here he is inside the top 5.
And Josh Coley doing a fantastic job. Even when we watched him back in the past, you never could count him out. He would always try to rebound and usually did a pretty good job of rebounding back to the front. That's what he's doing here again tonight, as he is just on rails trying to get to the front. He's got to get by the Trent Jump in that 46. That's not going to be an easy task. I think he's up for it, though. We'll see. As right now, Logan Brakey Trenton Jump, Tanner Johnson. Three of the top five are all on a team. So they've got a good little showing going there for Breaky Jump and Johnson. Just the question is who's going to win. As I really thought Therian had a good shot, but obviously that's going to come to an end here unless he can get in and get a little bit more damage repaired and possibly group this field back up again.
Yeah, I'm just looking his truck over. That right side is damaged really bad on the front. And he does have a little bit of damage on the left front, too. So taking a shot in the side and getting into the wall really kind of did a lot into that truck. But if they can get another pit stop in, get fresh tires on it, I'm sure he's checking it out right now. The most important thing is to make sure it does not knock the toe out on that truck. If it knocks the toe out, the tire wear is going to be horrendous, and it's going to be very difficult for him to deal with that after, say 20 laps.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it was the 29 that kind of slid up into the 38. But I want to point out, based on their last stops here, Logan Breaky, 14.1, he took all four tires. Once again, Shane Therian took two tires. So
Yeah.
I would have thought it'd been the opposite there, but sometimes just mistakes happen on the track. You slide up, get into somebody, and it's just part of racing. But here comes Christian Gomez in that number 48 machine. He's making a run on that 29 of Logan Breaky, and he may be making a bid for the lead here in the next lap or two.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, Charles, I got to run, man.
All right, well, it's good having you
sorry.
in the booth, so we will catch you later tonight sometime.
All right.
All right, Rudy's got to run. It's good to have him here as we have 65 laps to go here in the remainder of this race. We are glad you're tuning in with us tonight as we are setting up for the closing laps of this race. And the battle for the lead is underway once again. Again, that is Logan Breaky, Christian Gomez battling 1 and 2, and here comes Trenton Jump in that 46 machine. He's going to try to throw his hat into it, as well as Josh Coley. You got your top four. Throw a blanket over him right now, as they are doing a fantastic job of just hanging in there. Again, a lot of adversity these drivers have overcome in this race. So it's good to see everyone hanging in there as best they can. So much is happening here. We've had quite a few incidents on the track. We currently have about 11 drivers out of this race. Josh Coley looking for a pass. Couldn't complete it on the inside. He's going to have to look to the outside, but that's where everybody's running right now. So we're not having a look that he likes. He's going to maybe try here, try to get to the outside of the 46. Doesn't happen. The door gets shut one more time. So a battle for second, a battle for the lead going on. It's a battle for third and a battle for the lead. That's Christian Gomez having a fantastic run here at the moment in that number 48 machine. And we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it goes. We haven't done this all night. Let's go silent on the mic and let's go on board with that 46 machine of Trenton Jump and see what it's like trying to get by these front two. And there you have it, a lap on the board with your driver 46 of Trenton Jump. And Logan Brake, he's still having that connection issue and gets a shot in the shorts when he comes back on into the track. I want to point out that the 38 of Shane Therian has parked it on pit road now 2 laps down. That is unfortunate for him, as he is going to be there for over 1 minute now. The front four, though, having a good little battle here with 59 laps to go. Let's make it 58 laps to go, as they're possibly almost 3 wide, but it doesn't work out for the race lead. They're going to shuffle it back one more time. Here comes the 46 of Trent Jump. He's going to try to take advantage of the battling and go to the inside. I don't think that's going to work. The outside has been dominant pretty much all race long. The 33 of Josh Coley, though, setting himself up for the pass here if he can hang on to a third place position. And there goes the 29. He's going to dive into the inside. So we've got teammates on the inside and 2 rookies on the outside here in this series. Interesting call there for the 29 to tuck it down low. That may cost him the lead here as the 48's going to get by him. And here comes the freight train, folks. That 48, the 33, the 46. And we'll see if the 34, Robert Kenny, can squeeze in there as well. I think he's a little far back to make it happen. As now your front runners look like this. Gomez, Coley, Jump, Braking, Kenny going to be your top 5. It's just like that. 1 lap can change a lot of things here at Kansas. Again, we want to thank Rudy for coming in here. The booth is a quick fill-in as long as he could. But unfortunately, he had to run, so we are here running solo once again at Kansas live on Adrenaline iRacing League. And you're watching it all live here on LSR TV, YouTube, and a Facebook page. As Christian Gomez out front leading the race in that number 48 machine. Josh Coley, the rookie here. Actually, 2 kind of rookies per se. As new drivers we haven't got to cover in this series. We are, of course, very familiar with that 33 machine. It looks like a new paint job on the truck here. We'll see if we can't get a good shot of that on Josh Coley. I believe he was telling us about that new sponsor he did pick up on the truck. Oh, a big shout out to him on picking that up. As you see right there, Wilson Farms. I believe it says growing better or something. Well, not sure what it says there, but Wilson Farms on the side of that truck, as he is going to stay on the high side here. Yeah, Wilson Farms on there. 46, though, of Trent Jump. He's going to try to jump 1 more position if he can, and that would be a second where Josh Coley is currently holding, and he's not going to give it up without a fight here with 53 laps to go left in the race. We have started clicking away laps very quickly. We're on 28 laps here for Christian Gomez, 23 for Josh Coley, so he's got a little bit fresher tires and more fuel in the tank as well. We'll have to kind of wait and see how this one shakes out for pit stops, as obviously you're a front runner. Christian Gomez is going to have to come down pit road quite a bit sooner before he is able to carry on. Again, with 30 to 35 laps of fuel, throw in some cautions in there, and you can extend that just a bit further. It'll just have to be, time will tell how long it is until they come down for pit roads. Right now, though, it is all green, and it has been for several laps, as we did have those a couple of cautions, and then they get sorted out. As we got some battles going on, and looks like Steve Durham going to come down at pit road, as he's going to give up 5th position and to get some fresh fuel and some fresh Goodyear tires on that number 10 machine as he pulls it into a stop. And he's not the only one. Tanner Johnson in that FedEx Express number 23 machine going to be pulling it down, and he parks it. Maybe slides a little bit, but no, he's good. And that'll be Austin Retorts in the 15 coming down as well. So pit stops underway here with 51 laps to go. This will put them right where we kind of expected. Gomez coming down, Jump coming down, Coley coming down. These are your front runners. 50 laps to go. And add it to 30. That's going to be about, well, they've been doing it about 25, 26. So this would put them down around anywhere from 25 to 30 laps of fuel. Again, our fuel window we estimated was 30 to 35. They're coming down a little bit sooner than that. Dylan Browning, though, your race leader, we'll see when he comes down. 26 laps. He's going to make it 27 right there at the line. So 27 laps on this stint. Will he come down next time, or will he make it 28 and then come down? Again, we've been seeing 25 to 28 laps on fuel. Much different than we anticipated coming into this race of a 30 to 35 lap run. However, doesn't matter when you come down, but you're going to have to come down and fill up on fuel. And here comes that 12 of Dylan Browning, as he's going to have 27 laps and come down on lap number 27. That's going to cycle it back around to the 48 machine of Christian Gomez. He will be your race leader. Somebody's got to do something if they want to get by him. Logan Brakey currently right there with him, and things have shaken up, though. Trent Jump going to be third. Robert Kinney fourth. Josh Coley going to be dropping to fifth position after pit stops, and he had a shorter pit stop than everyone else in front of him. 14.4, 14.4, 14.4 for your front three, 14.5, and a 14 flat for Josh Coley. So a better stop, but being further back in the field did not did not bode him well. As we'll look at his information here, you see there started 16th. Even though he's up to 5th, that 16th starting position hindered him quite a bit on pit road, as he was further back in the stalls. So that is unfortunate for him. He'll have to overcome that somehow in the next round of pit stops, possibly short pitting and or only taking 2 tires so he can possibly get out a little bit closer to that leader. Even though he's he is 1.7 seconds away, so he's got a gap there, but he's only 0.50 seconds away from the next position, but still a good little gap to the leader. He's got to find a way to overcome that adversity. So, checking in on the chat there as we're watching this little battle. We closed that gap, 0.350 seconds, and it has closed in very quickly. So from 3/10 to... Oh, he almost gets him. So that gap right now, 0.149 seconds. It has closed quickly on the position of fourth. Robert Kinney holding on the fourth. Josh Coley trying to take it. Logan Brakey right now in the 29 Sportsnet Toyota Tundra hanging on the third, but Christian Gomez has taken the lead, and he'll lead his 13th lap right now. And he may be our new front runner per se, as Shane Therian had a good run out front, and so did Ryan Hart's out front. Both of them, of course, out of the race now due to incidents on track. Again, it's unfortunate to have 2 fast trucks out of the race. This has left that door open for someone to kind of, step their foot in that door and say, I'm going to be that next driver to be the guy up front and dominate this race. And Christian Gomez in the 48 has been said driver, as Trent Jump trying to run him down. Logan Brakey falling back just a little bit. And Robert Kinney has his hands full with Josh Coley at the moment in that 33 machine. So it's the 33 versus the 34, but it's the 34 that hangs on to the 4th position at the moment. And again, time will tell how these guys will all play out in the top 5. We watch these two. Let's go back a little bit and see what we got going on. Not a whole lot going on in the back of the field, as it is pretty much thin out here for this is the battle right here going on for third position as Robert Kenny, oh, he has Josh Coley all over his back bumper, can't complete the pass. Can he make the move to the high side? He's going to try here, but that door is going to get shut one more time. Kenny not having any of that. He's going to shut the door and say, you're going to have to find another way around me. And that is exactly what he's going to do. It looks like the 29 scrapes the outside wall. We're going to go 3 wide. And this could get interesting right about now. Everyone has to shuffle to try to not get into the 29 of Logan Brakey, who scrapes the outside wall. And they're going to get 2 for 1. Both of them, Robert Kinney and Josh Coley, get by the 29 as he smacks the wall. And that's going to be good for Josh Coley. That'll put him inside the top 5 solidly in 4th position. And that is good for him. He got the position he wanted. He wanted 4th, but now he's still battling for the 3rd position, as that was not the truck he intended the pass to get it from. So we'll keep watching this battle as you still see your front runner with a 1.099 second lead over Trenton Jump. And we'll see if that time does shrink. 1.083 now up to 1.116. So the lead starting to grow for your race leader. It's almost up to 1.3 seconds. So Christian Gomez out front with a clean truck. And he has checked out from this field here at the moment. I won't say he's got it wrapped up. But with 39 laps to go, it's getting closer and closer as he's going to lead his 19th lap here on lap 130. Time will tell who comes out on top. Who will be your race winner here tonight? The schedule is winding down here for the truck season. They've already announced what is coming in the season 2. Well, and it won't be trucks. We'll leave it at that. We'll be seeing some new cars coming for season 2. As Cup cars going to be making their way in. Josh Coley hanging on to 3rd as he barely gets it, but he is there. Here comes Kenny, though, back to the inside. And Kenny going to be able to hang on to the 3rd position. Josh Coley battling him as hard as he can in that 33 machine. It's going to be a good little battle between these two, almost making contact. And Josh Coley going to dive it to the inside. He slides it up, and not enough. He's going to keep trying, but a good battle. And here comes Logan Brakey back into the mix on the high side, as he's not done just yet. He's going to try and make something happen on the high side. Josh Coley not letting him as he closes the door up high towards the wall. And that's going to make Logan Brakey have to make a decision here. And he's going to get right to his back bumper, but not going to let him have the chrome horns. And Josh Coley going to pull away, but that has separated Josh Coley and Robert Kenny by quite a bit here with 34 laps to go in your race. Again, if we're here for the Adrenaline iRacing League, Christian Gomez out front. Let's go on board with him when he gets the line. We'll go a lap with him and see just how that truck is handling, as he has been out front and doing a fantastic job of it at that, leading 23 laps as he comes to the line. Let's go on board. All right, a little on board with the 48 of Christian Gomez. And we have got Shane Therian in the booth with us here to kind of break down what this truck's like on this track, what the track is like itself here tonight. So, Shane, for the ones out there that are wondering, we got quite a few people out there wondering, obviously, how's this truck handling on the track, and how is the best way you're on this track, and how's that track handling?
So the track is fine. I kind of wish it was nighttime because the trucks, I mean, usually nighttime tracks are really bad in this truck, but the Kansas, it actually gives you more than just the outside line because you can actually get a little bit more grip on the bottom to do slide jobs. As you can see earlier with me, the slide jobs aren't working tonight. But yeah, the track right now is just like I want to say like 3-4 laps. You barely have to let off. Maybe go 50% throttle on the entry, and then you just kind of rail ride the outside. It gets tight. The right front wears a lot. I think after what was it, that first green flag pit stops we had, my right front tire wore out like 34%. So the tires are huge. But I'm watching the 48. If you can listen, I don't know if they can hear it on your stream, but you can just hear the tire just burning. That's just how tight this setup is here. But the track is fun. It's fast. You can make passes. It's just you gotta know when to do it. That's the only problem.
Well, and while we have you here, kind of as a race analyst per se, we were looking at fuel strategy in these cars. Uh, you know, we were calculating around 30 to 35 laps on fuel, but we're seeing everyone was coming down anywhere from 25 to 30 laps. So, is that fuel strategy a little bit different than we were calculating?
Yeah, you're about right. You can go about 30 laps. If you're the lead, you can go about 28, 29. But tires, if they were smart, they would. So what I was gonna do if I was still in the race, I was gonna cut it to 25 laps each because you have to pit. I think one more. They have to pit. I think one more time before they end this race here. So, um, yeah, I don't know if they can make it on that one stop. It depends. So yeah, you can go close to 30 laps, but I wouldn't recommend it with the way these tires are.
And as we will talk about that, obviously the 34 of Robert Kinney coming down and locks the brakes up, hits the commitment cone, but I believe he made it into pit road safely. So we'll see if a penalty is assessed for that. But
Oh, you had to back up a little bit.
Oof, yeah, that is not what you want to see having to back up on a pit road. But other than that, it was good to have you here, and obviously we'd like to have you under better circumstances. But hopefully next week we'll be able to get you here, possibly in winner's circle.
I hope so. I mean, hey, I'm up here all the time. It's good that Hearts was back. It's have me and him are the fastest here, so it gives people, instead to get better and race better, and then me and Hearts have great battles. So I hope he returns next week. I know he wasn't happy here, so but thanks for bringing me up. I appreciate it.
All right, good. We'll definitely be talking to you here in the near future.
Thank you.
All right, get him back to his normal channel. Just a little bit of a race analyst aspect here as we got drivers coming down to pit road. Josh Coley is going to be bringing that 33 machine down pit road. And you see he's having to pit way back here compared to everyone else. Started 16th, so he is way back in the back when it comes to pit stops. Justin Teal going to be bringing that 32 machine down pit road as well. And we'll see. Looks like Dylan Browning is going to stay out at least one more lap. 24 here. We have 24 laps to go in the race. Again, it's been a little bit of a caution race here tonight. As we'll see right there, 7 cautions. Technically 6. We really haven't had any more since that one right at the beginning of the second half of this race. 22 laps under caution and 16 different lead changes here tonight. Again, quite a few different lead changes as Browning is out front. Gomez has come down pit road. A caution would definitely shake things up now as far as pit stops go. I'm not sure if I would come down for tires or not. But a lot has progressed in this race as Browning continues to lead. And there goes Josh Coley right there. He is going to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. So if I was Browning, I want to come down soon. He's not coming down this lap, but these guys that were laps down due to pit stops, they are starting to get their laps back. They're passing him on the track. So, you know, if I'm that 12 machine, I'm going to want to go down and get fresh tires, fuel, and maybe a sip of Pepsi while I'm there. But I definitely think I need to come down pit road pretty soon. Oh, the question is, and there it is, no question asked. He's coming down. He's going to bring that 12 machine to pit road, and he'll get it woed up to pit road speed limit. And he will bring it down. That's going to give the lead back to the 48 machine of Christian Gomez. I mean, Gomez has led so far quite a few laps. We're going to see the exact total when he comes to the line, as he should take over the lead. And he does right there. 33 laps led. It'll be 20 to go now. If he leads the rest of this race, that would be 53 laps led. That may not be enough to lead or break the most laps led by Ryan Hartz. It's going to be really close, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough for him to take most laps led here tonight in the race. So we'll be interesting to see on that. Pull up some more interesting stuff here for you. Looking at the top 8, everyone that is in the top 8 so far has a positive gain on tonight's race. The biggest movers right now, Logan Brakey, 10 spots gained since the start of this race. Josh Coley, who sits in the 4th position, 12 spots gained. And, of course, Steve Durham, 14 spots gained since the start of the race. Those are your biggest gainers here in the race. And, of course, your unfortunately, your almost all biggest loser, but the ones who've lost the most spots, Cody Slaudecker, who is out of this race, has lost 14, and Stefan Hamill, who lost 13, as well as Ryan Hartz, who lost 13 as well. And, of course, Jared Matthew and Bronson Stafford, dead even, 17 and 18th place finishes. Those guys finishing just where they started as of right now. But Gomez out front. Here comes Trenton Jump, though. He's going to try to make something happen with 17 laps to go. Time will be on the side of Trenton Jump right now. That is all he needs. He needs time to get up there. And I tell you, that time is technically on Gomez's side, as Christian Gomez trying to hold off that race lead. It's going to be a tough one to do. And that 46 has been fairly quick here tonight as well. 1-2 on your screen right now as they barrel into turn number 1 and 2. $15 laps to go here in the race. It'll be interesting to see. Again, I don't want to call who your race winner is going to be here tonight. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be the 48, but that 46 is hot on his heels. Logan Brakey hanging on to a third. Josh Coley in the 4th position. Coley looking to get a third. He's been fast, and of course he has been in the front of that 29 machine for some of this race. So we'll see if he can reel him in. Right now, 1.2 seconds separating. Now it's back to 1.3. It's going very quickly as he is trying to reel him in, but just can't quite seem to get there at this time in the race. So we'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he can. But some really good battles going on between those front two pretty much all night, but it's kind of sorted itself out now. Most notably, I want to point out Matt Dyer at the moment. He is on a track. He is not on the lead lap here at the moment. He is quite a bit down in laps, but he has gained the positions. He is still, while not on the lead lap, only on lap 89. Let's make it basically lap 90 of the 155 completed. He is still 7 spots to the good since the start of this race. That is good to know for him. He's still picking up positions here in this race. Christian Gomez, though, only +2 to the good. So started 3rd place, and he is running right now with 12 laps to go at the front of this field. But he has got company, or at least he had company. It's kind of spread out now. Trent Jump not quite being able to capitalize off of it, but now lap car is going to be coming into the picture. Will soon be a lap car anyway. Tanner Johnson on the lead lap now, but he is at the tail end of that lead lap. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to stay on the lead lap, as right now he has Christian Gomez right on his heels trying to catch him. The question is, can he catch him in time and get around him, or will he be able to stay on the lead lap? The end of this race coming up very soon with 10 laps to go. In 10 to go, that is all that remains for your race leader, Christian Gomez. As of right now, Eric Stamp now out of the race. And it looks like Austin Rhetoric's going to bring that 15 machine down to pit road. I'm not sure if this is a scheduled stop or if he is retiring it. He's going to take tires on that machine and fuel, so he's in. Oh, as of right now, we have looks like 11 drivers out of the 22 on the track actually out completing laps. So half the field has been retired here at Kansas. So a huge amount of cars out of this race, more than we wanted to see for sure. But it is what it is sometimes when you come to a track that's tough like this. As of right now, Matt Dyer coming back down. Eric Stamp, Hartz, Walters, Slaughter, Matthew, Stafford, Ashley Blythe, Hamill, and Gretorix. That is Calvin Gretorix. I have packed it up. Matt Dyer sitting on pit road, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a final run for him. Looks like he has possibly almost gained every position he can. He should be able to get a few more over Eric Stamp if he stayed out just a couple more laps. But we'll see that not being the case. Looks like he is going to stay on pit road with 7 laps to go. Your race leader still, Christian Gomez. Laps are winding down. 5 laps to go for Christian Gomez leading this race here tonight, followed by Trent Jump, who really has just kind of faded away here in the last laps. He really hasn't been able to catch your race leader. There's a gap of 3.5 seconds and nearly 10 seconds back to Logan Brakey. Josh Coley, 10.9, almost 11 seconds behind. He's struggling to get that 3rd position, not looking like it's going to happen. Steve Durham sitting in 5th right now, 23 seconds behind your race leader. These guys are running 33-second laps right now. The fall off is tremendous here in the races. It's 4 laps to go. Dylan Browning, the last car on the lead lap in a 6th position as he just crosses the line. And here comes your leader. He's coming to the line to make it 3 laps to go. He could potentially be in harm's way of going a lap down, but I don't think it's going to happen as he has 3 laps to do it. I don't think that's going to be enough for Christian Gomez to get by him. We'll see if it is enough. Again, I don't think it's going to be. We'll be coming up on 2 to go here in just a moment. And as I say just a moment, it is right there. 2 laps to go for Christian Gomez. Driver of that number 48 machine. He's going to take it all the way to the high side. He's kind of in cruise control right now. 33.146 seconds on his last lap. These guys on their fastest laps, 893 was his last time. We'll see as the white flag is being curled up and getting ready to be waved. And it'll be out right about now. There it is. 1 lap to go. Your Eco, 1 lap to go. We'll see if he's able to hold on again. 1 lap separating your leader from victory lane as he comes down the backstretch here for the final time here tonight. This will be his last time entering a turn 4, at least under racing conditions. Time again, it just will tell. And there it is right there. Your race winner going to be the 48 of Christian Gomez. Your top 3 going to be Gomez, Jump, and Brakey. And unofficially following in behind them is going to be Josh Coley, Steve Durham, Dylan Browning, Tanner Johnson, Justin Teal, Robert Kinney, Austin Gretorix, Shane Therian, Eric Stamp, Matt Dyer, Ryan Hartz, Alex Walter, Cody Slaughter, Jared Matthew, Bronson Stafford, Drew Ashley, Tyler Blythe, Stephen Hamill, and Calvin Gretorix rounding out your field here tonight. That 48 machine gonna do some celebrating. We're going to step away here for just a moment, and we'll be right back with your post-race show from the virtual Kansas Speedway. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with your Clan Wars servers post-race show. Of course, Clan Wars servers, your official communication partner of LSR TV, and we have your top three here in the booth. And of course, in third place, as always, where we start is going to be the 29 of Logan Breaky. Logan, you finished in third place here tonight. It was a rough night here at Kansas, or day, according to iRacing. Give us a breakdown of just what happened here tonight at Kansas.
Well, I mean, it's tough whenever you have a track that's so one lane and it's so hard to pass. You get guys that are sending it in on the bottom and trying to hope and pray that it sticks coming off the corner, and when it does stick, your run is killed. So the guy that you're just trying so hard to pass gets a monster run off the corner and they go right back by you. So it was a really patient race tonight, and track position was of all the importance.
Track position important. Uh, Tires and fuel seem to be a big issue here, where it looks like we were getting about anywhere from 28 to 30 laps on fuel. Tire wear seemed to be a big concern here. We saw anywhere from 31 seconds to 33-second lap times. So, what was the most important thing here, fuel or tires? As a driver's standpoint.
For me personally, it was tires up until the last stop, because I really short pitted on that last pit stop. I had 6 laps to fuel left whenever I came in for actually the second to last stop. So I kind of put myself in a tight spot. So I really had to stretch it before coming in for that last stop. But up until the final pit stop, it was all tires, because you just run it so hard trying to maintain time on the top and keep the gap to the truck in front of you so close so you could make a mistake if they screwed up. So for me personally, it was tires for a majority of the race.
Definitely tires, fuel, whatever the case was, it was a tough race out there. You had to conserve tires and had to limit your fuel and get it just right here. So depending on how the race went, we didn't have the green white checkered here tonight. 6 cautions. So overall, a fairly good night. That being said, we know you got some sponsors you need to thank. So who those will be for that third place finish tonight?
Huge thanks to you for sticking with us every week and broadcasting week in, week out. We appreciate that greatly. And thanks for always, of course, the drivers. It wouldn't be possible without you guys if you guys didn't show up every week. So thank you guys for showing up. And thanks to my admins who take a beating week in, week out as well. But put up with it and keep us running a good, solid league here. It's our first season, so we're learning every race, and we're always trying to make it better. So thanks again to everybody for coming out, and we'll see you next week.
Well, congrats again on third. That brings us to our second place driver of the number 46 machine, Trenton Jump. Trenton, you finished in a second here tonight. We got to ask you that $1 million question. What do you think you needed behind the wheel, under the engine? What were your thoughts? What did you need to catch up to Christian here?
I mean, I needed a right side that wasn't all beat in, but I mean, it was my own doing. I sent it clear way deep on chain. It was a dumb move, but I was clear until I lifted out of the throttle to start coming up the track, and as soon as I started coming up, it just went up into him. Not much else I got to do. It's late in the season. You got to take risks, and sometimes they don't always pay off. So,
risk equals reward or disaster. Sometimes this depends on how it goes. Again, this time didn't quite work out. Got a little damage from it, but same kind of thing. This track produces some good racing, and it can also be a just a total pain in the hindquarters. So overall, was it a good race for you, or do you wish you could have done a little bit better? Maybe made some different decisions, or are you pretty happy with how it turned out?
Besides sending it in on chain, I really wouldn't do much else different. I thought I drove a good race, and it's the best I felt most of the season. So I mean, just trying to get into a stride again. We missed a couple races just being on vacation, so trying to get back into the stride and hopefully getting rid of that goose egg in the win column.
Well, the pursuit of a win, always the good pursuit to have. You finished runner-up here tonight. And we know you got some sponsors, and shout out to those be for that second place finish.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout you out for doing all you do, and with LSR TV on board now and that whole deal gone down, it's looking great and love it all. And got to thank Bud Light Seltzer and all the Bud Light drinks and everything that we all put on our trucks, and Justin Teal for painting them. He always makes them look good. So
Well, again, congrats on second place. And of course, that will bring us to your race winner here tonight. Driver of the number 48, just a few numbers higher than second place. That, of course, is Christian Gomez. Christian, you get the win here tonight, and you led quite a few laps on top of that. Not quite enough to lead the most, but you still led as many as you could. So how does it feel to be sitting in victory lane here tonight?
Yeah, apologies if there's any noise in the background. Oh no, it feels great. First time out, here in Adrenaline. I remember driving the old days when it used to be a Halo League and just struggling, but good to finally get a win column in this league. And yeah, it was a tough race. It was just more about conservation, like you mentioned earlier, fuel and tires. I was very mindful of that and just tried to keep a clean car. I did scuff the wall one time, but that was luckily the only time, and it paid off well.
Again, making the fewest mistakes possible, always a key, no matter where you are, especially here. It seems like lately the tracks have been a single groove here with the new tire model. So how much does that single groove make it more difficult to pass? And does that make qualifying up front even more important?
Oh, most definitely. Especially if you're single lane, that's the only lane you go to. We've seen it multiple times here. Drivers going to the inside and just not making it stick. And yeah, qualifying is now very important if it's going to be a one-lane track.
Oh, one lane, obviously, you're sitting in the second lane, and that is victory lane here tonight. Any sponsors, shout out you got to give for getting you to victory lane here tonight?
Thank you for broadcasting, and thanks to everybody in the Adrenaline for running such a great series. And thank God Darth Smash builds a damn good wheel.
Well, there you have it. And of course, that will do it here for tonight's racing action. We hope you enjoyed tonight's race. And as always, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Or sorry, yes, tomorrow night, Monday night, with some Northwest Cup Series racing. So until then, we'll see you there.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.